Greetings, everyone. P. Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of the Hudson Valley Squares. It is December 1st. It's our second to last show of the year here on the channel. We're here for the Hudson Valley Squares. We will have our best of the year episode coming up fairly soon. We don't know exactly when we're doing that yet. It's all to be determined. We'll bring that before the holidays for sure. Let me introduce the crew. We got it's his idea to do this episode tonight. So Mr. Allo is here. Chris Allo, of course, in the house. Rob Lasante is here. Right below me, we got Tony Dio. Craig Kaminsky's in the house. And on this topic about concerts, he's dialing in from a concert himself. Mr. Steve Keeler is here from Dingbats parking lot. What's going on, Steve?
Oof.
I'm actually parked in front of Christian's tour bus, so I'm here.
Ah,
Cool, cool. Chris, you don't like the parking lot of Dingbats?
Dingbats is rough, man. I mean, they get some cool shows, but that Craig and I spent like a day and a half there trying to see Venom Inc. A year or two ago.
A day and a half.
well, he was there. Chris was there longer. He was there to do a meet and greet. I mean, I showed. Yeah.
There are chairs, Chris. So there's a little bar.
Oh, I know. Listen, Steve, when that Venom Inc. show happened, I was on that bar stool from 4 p.m. until like 12:30 at night.
I was on the bar stool. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
on a fucking bar stool. So yeah, people are cool. Place is cool. Just not.
I've never been here. I'm a virgin for Dingbats tonight.
Okay.
Todd Guckelberg is here too. I think I pronounced his name right from Primeval. He's actually filming the show tonight. So first time here for him too. It's like wow.
You know,
A lot of
hopefully have a
shows
good
there.
time.
I've never been either.
Yeah, they do. They get a lot of gigs.
No,
Yep.
So we're here tonight to talk about not 2025, but 2026. So unless you've been kind of living under a rock, I'm sure you've heard the news of like three specifically really big tours which are happening next year. The first one that was announced was this big Rush reunion tour, right? So of course Alex and Getty and a female drummer going out and playing Rush classics for the first time in a number of years. And for those who remember when they made that announcement initially, they only announced a certain amount of dates. And then within like what, about a week, we got a whole bunch of other dates. There's been a lot of talk about ticket prices and where they're playing and where they're not playing, right? We'll get to that in a second. Also, we've got Iron Maiden coming around once again, doing what Iron Maiden always does, right? They're coming around
Yeah.
next year as well. And then we've got the big AC/DC tour as well. And AC/DC are playing like all over creation, including North America, I believe South America too, and
Yeah.
other things as well. So Chris and I were kind of talking. We were like, a lot of discussion about the price of tickets, about whether
Mm.
you like going to arena shows anymore, whether you prefer going to smaller places, the pros and cons, and certainly the cost of tickets for some of these. Now, I don't know who's all going to these. So far, I'm only going to Maiden. I want to go to see Rush, but I don't know if I want to pay the Rush prices. AC/DC
Mm.
I saw two times ago when they came around. I think I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So now, Steve, you are at a show right now, and I know you can only be with us for a couple minutes, so I'll kind of kick it over to you.
So
First of all, are you going to any of these three? And what are your thoughts about these big arena shows here in 2025, 2026? Do you like doing these or not anymore? I mean,
uh, that's a tough question. I do not really like the football stadium ones like the ACDCs at MetLife. I've been to MetLife to ACDC a few years ago. I saw the Stones at MetLife back in the day. I saw Pink Floyd at Giant Stadium. I saw Ted Nugent and Aerosmith at Giant Stadium when I was a young whippersnapper. I don't really like that big. I do love the summer amphitheaters. The arena shows aren't too bad for me. You gotta bring a whole nother budget with you if you want to have a couple beers, because the beers are gonna be $25. I love going to shows. I mean, if you want to count arena like Toyota Oakdale Theater, I was just there last week, which it's not really an arena, but it's a pretty big venue. I have a good time when I go there. I mean, I have a good time when I go to any live music. When I'm down in the dumps, I might be home and I'm depressed. I come out to a show and I just get the energy of coming to a show. So I would much rather be maybe not quite as small tonight at Dingbats. I mean, I'm going to get a great show tonight at Dingbats. I don't think there's a lot of people here so far, but I do definitely like going to the Gramercy and Brooklyn Monarch and stuff like that a little bit better than the big arena shows. And like you said, the price is a big difference too. You can do a meet and greet with a band, somebody like Amorphous or someone like that for $75. Even Zach Sabbath, though I didn't do the meet and greet, I had some friends that did, was $100 to meet and greet. I mean, that's not a bad deal. You get in early, but these shows like Rush and Maiden and AC/DC, like, I mean, talk about these giant stadiums. I'll go back to thinking I wanted to go to one last summer, which was System of a Down and Corn. It was untouchable, but I'm doing what I call my good friend Keith Celentano. Some people may know him. He's a rock photographer. Actually lives out in Vegas now. He taught me years ago. Wait to the day of. It's a Las Vegas crapshoot, though, because sometimes the tickets go up, but I did Kiss at the Garden the final night. I got in for like $150. Like Chris called me to go Friday. I couldn't do the Friday. So lately, any of these shows coming up next year, I totally expect I will see Rush. I thought the Rush thing was kind of screwed up because they acted like they were only doing a few dates. Then they added like Mohegan Sun. It's like they added all these extra shows. So I don't know. I mean, imagine if you bought those tickets for the Garden and they start adding these other shows. Will the ticket prices go down? Will Rush tour again after this? I totally expect to be at Rush. I totally expect to be at the Iron Maiden. I don't know if I care to go to the AC/DC though. So.
It's a tough call to do all three.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shows I've got tickets for next year that aren't arena shows, like the Halloween show, the Opeth show at Montclair, the Black Label Society. So, like, to me, like the Wellmont at Montclair, I love going there. I think that's a great venue. Yeah. You can get a seat if you want. I don't really like the balcony. I did that a few weeks ago. I like being on the floor or in the bottom seats. But, yeah, it's a tough call. But I love going to shows. Hey, I'm a senior citizen now, and I feel like any show now I get to go to, I'm just honored to be at right now. I just love the live experience. And sometimes when you see a band like tonight, I'm getting turned on to some bands I haven't seen before. Sometimes when you go see a band you like, but when you see the music live, it's a whole nother ball game. And I mean, of course, that's a little different with Iron Maiden and Rush and AC/DC because we know all the material. They're not really putting out new albums for any of these tours. So, but, sometimes I'll go see a band that put out an album and I'll say, wow, you just want to listen to it all the way home. And that makes it a good situation, a good experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird knowing Steve as long as I do that I just heard him utter that he's a senior citizen. I'm not. There's no way that can be. And then I'm thinking, I'm only a couple years away from it. Damn it!
I'm only a year away from him, so I know.
But blink, and you'll be there because you know how fast these years go by.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Christmas lights here on the street, and I just put up mine, and wow, it seems like it was just summer a blink ago.
Yeah.
And before you know it, we'll be writing 2026 on that check, and we're talking about 2026 shows. 2026 is also interesting because you're seeing a lot of amphitheater shows, and I know we're off topic, but I don't see any of them coming to Bethel Woods.
Not yet, anyway.
No.
I saw the Stick Chicago. I saw what was it, Motley Crue. I was like, all these shows that are all at SPAC or PNC or Jones Beach or Camden, and I don't understand. But that's a whole other. We could do an whole topic on Bethel Woods, I think.
I know. Tell me about it. You know what? I don't mind going up to SPAC. SPAC is a lovely place to see shows. So it
is nice. I went
Bethel
twice
Woods is not
last
going to
summer.
do stuff. Whatever. It is what it is.
It's just what the hell,
Yeah.
I was up there for the Priest Cooper and the Pantera Monomarth. I had a good time. It's nice around the area, and boy, I don't like the ride home from Saratoga. That ride home, if you're back and forth, that throughway just goes on forever.
Forever. That's the tough
back
part.
to where we live,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those we unfortunately, well, with the exception of, Tony's not from here and Craig lives in PA, but the rest of it, we know what it's like. There's not a lot of shows right within like an hour from us. for the most part. So if we want to go to any of these, we got to travel. And yeah, Saratoga is just under 2 hours, or just about 2 hours.
And PNC isn't that much different,
no,
actually,
it's
if
no
you think of
different.
PNC.
Yeah.
And I don't mind a ride home back from PNC. I don't know why. Maybe there's more traffic. Maybe there's stuff to look at along the road. But I would rather do PNC than there. And I mean, the other amphitheater that doesn't do much either is the one up in Wilkes-Barre, which is about an hour and 10 minutes from Middletown.
Yeah.
I haven't been up there in a couple of years, and you don't see much up there at Toyota Pavilion anymore, at Montauk Mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to get a lot of shows, and I've seen a bunch up there, and you don't, and like people in the Hudson Valley don't really think of that venue much, but it's really very close.
Yeah, I have
right up 84, 81, and boom, you're right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I should consider that more often. I haven't been there in a long time.
I don't even know what they had last summer. I didn't really hear about anything.
I don't know.
They used to do the Ozfest and everything up there back in the day. Yeah.
So
well,
Chris,
anyhow,
I know you are. I know you're going to Maiden, right? I think you got tickets for a couple shows, if I know correctly. But how about the other two? You consider
yes, I've got 2 Maiden shows coming up. Yeah, AC/DC. I've seen them like 5 or 6 times. I'm good with them. But I very much wanted to go see Rush on this reunion tour, and it was I got the pre-sale codes, and I did jump in, and it was one of the absolute fucking craziest experiences I've ever seen with trying to order tickets, which was one of the things I talked about with yourself and Craig. When the Rush tickets went on sale, and Steve's right, they kept adding dates. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was 3 different waves of show announcements. So they just keep adding dates on. And originally it was a much smaller tour, and now it's really a rather large tour.
Yeah.
But originally they were doing 2 nights at the Garden, and then it went to 4 nights at the Garden. And I was like, okay, great. Madison Square Garden, that's easy to get to for me. I could just hop a train and take Grand Central down there. But the ticket buying experience was fucking insane, because I got the pre-sale code, and there was like, I think 8 or 9 different pre-sales for Rush, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But also the ticket pricing was unfucking believable.
I've never seen that.
Which was then compounded more so when I got my Iron Maiden tickets a few days later. But long story short, I get the code. I wasn't sure how much the tickets were going to be for Rush. And I've already seen Rush, I believe, 18 times. So I do really like them. But I got the code, and I go in, and I was able to find, they had on the map for Madison Square Garden, section B, which is right on the floor, and it was like 3rd row. It was only 1 ticket, and that's all I needed, and it was $1,000. Now, okay, that's a lot of money, because it's 3rd row center, and it's fairly close to the stage. So I'm like, okay, $1,000 that close, that's pretty reasonable. But as much as I like Rush, I didn't want to spend $1,000. And I don't blame you. I knew the Maiden announcement was coming. I know Christmas is coming and all this other shit, lots of bills. So I'm like, listen, I like Getty and Alex, but $1,000, man, it's $1,000. So this is where the experience got fucking insane. I looked at the other seats on the floor. Now, 3rd row was $1,000. But then I go to like 17th row in section B, $1,000. Then I go, I'm like, what? I'm like, how could that be? Now, again, listen, I am very ticket savvy. This is not any kind of reseller bullshit. This is the tickets straight from Ticketmaster the minute that they were available, and I was using the Citibank pre-sale code. So then I go up to section, I go, all right, fuck it. I don't need to be on the floor. I can go on the lower bowl, because I'm in my head, I'm like, okay, if third row is $1,000, lower bowl should be, I don't know, $500.
Yeah.
Section
Right.
108, $1,000. Section 107, $1,000. Now I'm getting farther back. Section 106, $1,000. 105, $1,000. I'm like, what the fuck? How can you charge the same amount of money for third row center as you are for lower bowl 8 sections over?
Nosebleeds were like $350.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
This
that's
isn't like
if you could find them.
Right.
This is not like the second coming of Rush. It's like the second coming of Christ, for that Christ.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Steve, I couldn't believe it. I was like, you gotta be
on that right
you
now.
gotta be fucking kidding me, guys. Like, and then I'm like, okay, so a week later, the Maiden tickets go on sale. And yes, they were expensive. And yes, I had to join the fucking Iron Maiden fan club to have the privilege to buy the tickets. But it was no fucking problem. I was in and out in 2 minutes. I got a pair of great seats for Craig and myself in Jersey. Now they were $370 a piece, not including the insurance, because hey, that kind of I don't want to gamble like Steve was saying, for the extra whatever it was, $40. We did get the ticket insurance, but I'm like, wait, why is Iron Maiden charging $370? And Rush is charging $1,000. Like, that is fucking insane. Insane.
Yeah. I think I got Maiden tickets. We are like one section up from you, and they were almost 200. So I mean,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm one section to the left of Chris, and it was 190.
Okay.
I looked at one day, and pit tickets, like the pit standing room only, were like 2 something, and I didn't do it. And then I looked back, and they were 3 something.
Now, the interesting thing, Steven, which will totally come into your favor, which Steve does, which I like Steve mentioned, I did it last year for KISS, waiting for last minute. It is a crapshoot. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it won't work.
Sometimes you don't go. Yep.
Right. The thing that's fascinating with the Maiden show is they sold out that first show at this football stadium in New Jersey right away.
Yeah.
Like a week or 2 later, they added a second date. But I just looked, there are like thousands of tickets still available for the second night.
What's up with this Maiden tour is not that big for what could be maybe the final Maiden tour, and they're playing these weird venues. They're playing Hershey Park too,
which
right?
Steve, you and I just saw Slayer there. I fucking hated that venue.
Right.
I will never go back.
The places that Maiden is playing, they're larger than an arena, but smaller than a stadium. So
yes.
There's like a soccer stadium. That's a soccer.
Yeah, the one in Jersey is a soccer
stadium.
stadium.
When you look at it, like, where's this? I had to Google it.
Yeah. It's not far from
Newark, right?
From Newark.
It's like really close, right? Yeah.
It's not far from where I'm sitting in the street by in Clifton here in Dingman.
Yeah, it's strange that they added they're playing the date in Hershey, Pennsylvania, at the football field that Chris saw Slayer at. But outside of Philadelphia, there is a soccer stadium that is of similar size to the Harrison, New Jersey one, but they're not playing there, which is kind of weird. They should play there instead of Hershey. But
Hershey Park is a new metal mecca, I guess, because I see Guns N' Roses is coming in next summer too.
Yes.
Can't wait to miss that.
I mean, who would have guessed if someone told you last year Slayer is doing one headlining festival on their own in the United States, and you were going to guess Hershey, Pennsylvania? No one was going to do this. And
Amish for sure.
They would have said, "Oh yeah, LA."
They had concerts at that stadium before. 25 years ago. I mean, I saw Black Sabbath there. I saw Kiss there on their farewell tour.
I mean, that stadium is ancient. That stadium's been there since like 1908 or something.
Yeah, it's very old.
That stadium. I saw Kiss on their farewell tour with Ted Nugent and Skid Row there 25 years ago.
When was the last time? Wait, Steve, when was the last time Iron Maiden played with Megadeth and Anthrax in the United States?
I don't know. Well,
There was that
usually,
they Maiden did that one-off, I forget which tour it was, but they did a tour. It was like the Battle for LA or something.
Right,
It was
but
it was
what I'm
where it was like I think it was Maiden and Megadeth, and there was a bunch of other bands. And I don't know if it was a one nighter or a two nighter, but it was definitely in
I don't
LA.
remember that.
but
I
they
mean,
Yeah,
haven't
like they
done
did a regular tour, but then for
Yeah.
whatever reason, for the Los Angeles date, they added a bunch of other bands.
I mean, I've seen you may have seen Maiden so many times that I've never they've always had like some small little band, whether it be the kids band,
Yeah,
or
the
something like
kids are, the only time they had a big band recently was Ghost.
Yeah, and
that
that
was
had to
the
be
last
already
time.
what 8 years
At
ago.
least, yeah.
Yeah, and then I mean, remember when they came around? They had Alice Cooper.
Yes, but again,
And
that
they
was
had
probably
Dio
10
and
years
Motorhead.
ago.
Yeah,
Saxon.
it's been a
Yeah.
while.
They usually
Dio
don't
and
come around
Motorhead.
with anybody, so maybe because they're doing a semi-bigger stadium, they decided to bring these other, like Megadeth on their farewell tour and
Well, it's
Anthrax.
kind of inspired, right? Because Megadeth is doing
Yeah.
the farewell long tour, and
Yes.
Anthrax
Yeah.
has a new album coming out, so it's like it's kind
Right.
of good. I think it's a good call bringing them both
And
in.
Megadeth, I mean, we all know that Megadeth doesn't really fill an arena nowadays, unfortunately. I was at I was down in Newark a few years ago with Chris Caffrey, and that was in 2016, and that was with a stacked lineup too. It was like Megadeth, Amon Amarth, Metal Church.
Steve,
They
I
were
remember hanging out with you at that show. They were giving tickets away. It
they were
was
giving
like,
tickets away, and they were
I-
charging like $5 for floor. And then when they
Yes.
came to Bethel Woods, they didn't draw well, and they also went to Albany to the old Pepsi Arena with Mudvayne, and that tour didn't do that well. So Megadeth is not a Metallica in 2025 or a Slayer, unfortunately. But now with the hype of the final tour, of course, maybe more people come out. But of course, people are going to come to see Maiden because how long does Maiden have left? Really don't know. I mean, any of these older bands, that when they come around, if you want to see them, you got to see them. But these prices are getting out of control.
Yeah.
And I have to actually run and go back inside. I'd love to hang out with you guys. That is a great chat. I actually like doing it from the car. I feel like that guy Vic, that comedian, he does it in the car all the time, right? Vic DiPieto.
At least you're not like those guys with a whole plate of food in front of you that are feeding your face while you're sitting in your
You
car.
better get the bread and milk. You better get the bread and milk, Steve.
I'll see you guys soon. Tony,
All right,
see you.
Steve,
have a good
time.
I'm going to go
Enjoy
back
this
in and
go.
check out some metal,
Yeah.
man. Good to
Cheers.
see you.
Cool. See you. So, Tony, are you seeing the same thing down by you, down south? I mean, is it like the same type of thing with tickets and whatnot?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I live about an hour from Raleigh. So I'm kind of like you guys. I have to travel to see something. I'm about an hour from Raleigh. Charlotte gets a lot of rock shows, and they're getting all this stuff that we're talking about. And that's about 3.5, 4 hour drive from me. So a lot of times I don't go there unless it's something I really, really want to see. But I mean, the prices, I mean, Rush isn't, I don't think Rush is coming through here anywhere. I don't think. I didn't really pay that much attention because I was like, I'm not paying that kind of money to go see them. I did fork out money for Iron Maiden tickets. They are coming to Charlotte next year. Uh, I was like, this is probably the last big tour they're going to do. The set list they're promising is going to be stuff from like their first 5 or 6 records. So it's going to be an excellent set list. And I was wondering, kind of like you guys with the Rush dates, Maiden released these dates, and it was just a handful of dates, really, if you think about it, for North America. And they were, I was thinking, well, maybe they'll add some more. But then I said, I'm wondering, I'm just kind of assuming that Dave Murray might be the next one that wants to retire, kind of like Nico. And maybe he said, look, I'll do a tour, but I don't want to do but so many dates. And maybe that's what they're doing. They'll do something in North America, then they'll go back to Europe and do some stuff. And because there was some rumors going around that he might be the next one to jump ship and retire. Whether they'll continue, we don't know. I just saw where Judas Priest just announced they got a tour. What's it called? Another
Faith Keepers tour.
The Faith Keepers tour next year. So I mean, it's like I just saw Priest and they put on a great show. but there's so many of these groups that just can't do what they used to do. AC/DC, for instance, I watched videos from this last tour, and yeah, they've got a core band, rhythm band, the new bass player, new drummer, and Stevie Young on rhythm, tight as hell. But Brian and Angus are worn out, man. And, I'm like, God bless them. They can still go out there and do it somewhat, but man, they're just so ragged out. And I saw some preview that the little commercials running online promoting the tour, and they're showing footage of the band that looks like it's 20 years old. Angus is still running across the stage, and he's not running across the stage on those shows that I watched last year. But I'm like, if you've got the money and you've never seen these bands and you want to go, more power to you. Do it. There's a lot of people that have bucket list bands they've never seen. I've been lucky enough to see all these guys, and I'm like, okay, I'm good with it. Guns N' Roses just announced they're doing a stadium tour. I just can't imagine them filling a stadium, but they must gonna put a package tour together or something. They're actually playing in Raleigh, and I mean, I'm not that big of a Guns N' Roses fan. I wouldn't go. I saw them once. They opened for Motley Crue. They blew them off the stage. That was the first big U.S. tour, and they'll never top that. I never need to see them again. But and then I saw where Motley Crue's going out again, and I'm like, why do they keep beating a dead horse? I mean, they're just not good live. Do they really need that money? A friend of mine said, "Oh well, they've got John Five on guitar now," and I'm like, Mick Mars was not the weak link in the band.
Sure.
I mean, it's just it makes me wonder how long some of these guys are going to keep pushing it, and how much money do they need to keep doing it. And it also comes into play whether it's the promoters are coming in and really,
well, they're offering bucks and they can't say
yeah.
no, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
And
think
that
any of
being
these guys
said,
can walk away from money.
yeah, and that being said, these guys can't go but a few years more. There's not that many bands to take their places once they're gone that are drawing those kind of numbers.
Yeah, this is the last of a dying breed with these bands.
It
I
is.
mean, it's just that there aren't. I mean, a lot of times people say it's like, well, I don't like to go to arena shows anymore. There really are none. I mean, there's not that many bands that can put the asses in the seats anymore, like there used to be when we were younger. I mean, you got your Iron Maidens and your AC/DCs, but like you guys said, how much more gas is in the tank for these bands? I mean, they're being aged out. There's not that many of the new up and coming bands either that would play arenas, with very few exceptions, like Ghost or something.
Metallica still got a few years left in them,
Right.
I think.
Sure.
But they're kind of, and they're huge. They're biggest metal band in the world.
I got to say that I think it's the states too. It's not just about the bands. It's the states. How music is in the states now. A lot of these kids, the younger generations, are not listening to metal like we did when we were growing up. And but you go to South America. Oh my God, 400,000 people going to see. You know what I mean? Or you go, out in Europe. It's totally different. It's the state thing. That's where I think where the prices are going up. Why they're going up so much.
And
Over here,
people are
especially with the
still
old
going to pay
bands.
whether it's metal or whether it's not, people are still going to pay the price to see these shows. I mean, people still go see, Taylor Swift or shows at the Las Vegas Sphere, or things like that. It doesn't, whether it's someone popular, people will go, and whether they're $1,000 or more. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of people that still are okay with those prices. And
But on the same token, Craig, there are a lot of people who aren't, and a
yeah,
lot of people are under are of the opinion that, well, my favorite band only has two of the five original members left. It's not really the band anymore. I can spend half the money or less to go see a really good cover band playing all those same songs, and they sound great. Because
yeah.
if you look
Yeah.
now, especially around here, there are cover
tribute
bands
acts
for
everywhere.
every band you can
Oh, yeah,
imagine.
there's a
And
million
they're all
tribute
really good.
bands.
They're all
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I enjoy going out to clubs and smaller venues myself now that I'm older. I just can't deal with going to a stadium show anymore. I just don't even want to deal with it. I'll still go to amphitheater shows, from time to time, but I much rather go to a concert hall or a theater that's got seating in it, Chris, so somewhere I can sit and watch the
Hell
show.
yeah,
When I
Tony.
when I
Hey,
when I
We're
saw
all
some of the
too
Michael,
old for standing.
we've got a
I'm with
we
you
got a
guys with
place
that.
about
Yep.
we've got a place
Standing for
about two
four
hours from
hours,
me.
no
We
more.
got a place about 2 hours from me. It's I'm 2 hours from Richmond, Virginia. There's a place right outside of Richmond, Beacon Theater, and they get tons of shows in there. I've seen Michael Schenker, this year, and saw Zebra and all, and I got to sit down and watch the show,
Yeah.
and it was awesome.
Yeah, it's just like what happened with us this year. So the Ridgefield, which is in Connecticut, and it's only about 40-minute ride from my house,
Great place.
is a
Yeah.
great place. And it's small, it's 500 seats. And I saw Accept there with KK. I saw Michael Schenker. I've seen Winery Dogs, Robin Trower. I've seen a lot of bands there now. And so they get great, a great artist to go there. And it's close. It's parking's free. Those are all things that draw people in, like us, that don't want to spend $400 on a show. It's
Cheap beer, cheap beer come
Yeah.
is a
yeah, even
big
their
plus
beer
for
is
me.
well, it's cheaper than what you pay in the city. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and somebody, I think Chris mentioned Oakdale is another one. I love that place too. I've seen Dream
Yeah.
Theater there twice. I've seen Priest there, White Snake. I've seen a lot of bands there. Another one. It's a little further, but it's still a great venue. I think the last time I drove 3 hours to see a show was Priest in 2019 in Albany when they played with the Heap. That was the last time I drove 3 hours to a show.
And I've never even been to a stadium show before. Of all the
Oh
concerts I've
wow.
been to, I've never,
Wow.
and
Really?
honestly, I don't intend that streak to end because, especially with AC/DC, I mean, I've seen them only twice, but again, same as what Tony said, seeing footage, it's like that's okay, and this tour should have happened like what 3 years ago because this is technically the Power Up tour, which came out in
Right.
2022. So I mean, it got bumped so many times because of COVID and whatnot. But yeah, and also from seeing footage of the recent Metallica show. And that which I think was a good thing that they did, where they would play different songs at least on each night and have different openers. But when they would show the crowd, there's a lot of like casual fans who kind of like weren't really getting into it or so. And when you have those big stadium shows, I think it's like you get a different clientele, so to speak,
Oh,
not as
100%.
rock and roll
100%
of a
Craig.
crowd.
Yeah.
Kind of like how the super you go to the Super Bowl and it's
Yeah,
not the real
overhyped.
rabid fans of the teams that are there.
Yeah.
It seems to be the case for a lot of stadium shows like
Yeah,
that.
that was the case for me. The last time I went to a big stadium show was MetLife Stadium. I saw the Rolling Stones there, and that was probably, I don't know, 2018 or something like that, whatever it was. And I didn't enjoy myself at all, because I felt that the majority of the people who were at that were just there to go to a big event. They weren't into the band, weren't into the music. All the young kids were just getting hammered out in the parking lot and just being rude and everything like that. And you're sitting a million miles away, and the sound wasn't great, and the seats weren't comfortable, and it just was annoyed me. The whole evening just annoyed me, and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I don't really enjoy going to see these shows with like 40, 50,000 people there. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
have to
last
say,
stadium show I did was Ramstein in, I guess, 2021, maybe at MetLife Stadium. And it is a great show, but man, the stadiums are a pain in the ass. The sound sucks. Christ, I think I paid like $75 just to park.
The park, yeah.
whew,
Yeah, I mean it's nuts.
that's
So
crazy.
yeah, definitely it's a thing to avoid for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And growing up, I went to several stadium shows, and it wasn't anything. 'Cause the tickets weren't really expensive at all. I remember seeing Pink Floyd in like '93 or something, and we were actually on the field with seats, and I don't think I paid but like maybe $50 for the ticket or something. Same with the Stones, maybe around '97 to the Bridges of Babylon. It might have been a little more, maybe like $70 or something, but we had good seats and free parking and everything. I mean, it just everything's just skyrocketed to
Well,
outrageous prices
with
now.
these legacy bands, it's like you don't know really how much more they're going to tour, and generally the uh, target audience for them generally are people with deeper pockets. For example, like John Fogerty was coming around, and it's like, I mean, he's not a young guy, and you don't know how much more he's going to tour, and those tickets were sky high, or Paul McCartney or someone like that, for
McCartney,
example.
right? I think we could probably blame the Eagles on all this because I think they're the ones
Oh,
They
for
started
sure.
it.
Yeah.
They started
when Hell
it.
Freezes Over
94.
tour. They
Yeah.
100%. They started it.
94.
Yeah.
That's one of
They
my
were 100,
first.
$100 a ticket, and everybody was like, $100. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember somebody telling me, we're going to stay home and have a fuck the Eagles party and just, come over to the house. But I actually ended up going to that because I had a friend that bought 4 tickets for that. And he had bought them for him and his dad and his sister and brother-in-law. And they went through 6 months ahead of time. And the sister and brother-in-law like split up and didn't go. He goes, hey man, if you drive, I'll give you a ticket. It's like, all right. So yeah.
Well, right. Yeah.
But that's where it started. You're right, Pete.
Yeah.
That was the
That
first
was my
show I
fir-
remember being really expensive.
That was my first stadium show ever. In 1980, long run tour was Eagles, Heart, and Little River Band at Giant Stadium.
Oh, right before they called it quits, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Walsh was there, everything. It was great. And then Hart did the Zeppelin songs. Yeah, I remember that. It's a long time ago, man. It's 45 years
Man,
ago.
those big festivals like that, I never got to attend. Something
I
like the
was
US
like-
Festival or something I could only imagine,
The
man.
nosebleed.
Day on the Greens. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, festivals, that's a whole other thing. I'm sitting
Yeah.
thinking, it's like, do I go to that one down in Texas next year? I'm like, ooh, I would love to.
Oh, Hell's Heroes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great lineup, but yeah, that's one of the, I'll be honest. I mean, it's a whole nother topic, Pete, but that is an easier festival, Hell's Heroes, because there's only 2 stages.
Right.
So it's much easier than, say, Maryland Death Fest, which is like 5 stages and 5 fucking days.
And you were there for all
the only
5
thing about
you were
Hell's
there for all
Heroes, there's
5
nowhere to
days.
sit.
Oh,
Well,
Nowhere
that's
to
the
sit
problem,
at all.
Tony, right? Nowhere to sit. So you're just basically
Yeah.
walking, wandering
won't
around,
even-
standing all day.
They won't even let you bring a chair. I mean, come on.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
It's against the metal law.
I just remember asking Chris about that before, where it was like, you're at day 4 of the Maryland Death Fest. How's it going? And you're like, oh God, I got one more day.
brutal, brutal. I thought about going for a minute this year, 2026, and I'm like, oh fuck it, I can't do it. I can't do it.
There comes a time when all good things must come to an end, right?
100%.
Well, and since we're talking about these bands, is like I saw AC/DC 3 times in the 80s. The biggest tours ever, Back in Black, and then For Those About to Rock, and and then the tour after
They'll
that.
never top that.
Yeah, I mean,
never.
and then Rush was the same thing. It was moving pictures and signals and all. Those were, I can't explain how exciting it was back in those. And I didn't pay. I paid $20. Paid $20.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to go. I would love to see Rush. But like Chris explained in the beginning, was that the prices that were popping up, my eyes were popping out. I couldn't believe the prices that were coming up.
Yeah.
I just could. I can't afford that. I got
Are
5
any
grandkids. I got to
of you
worry
guys-
about this.
Are any of you guys bothered with the Rush thing? I mean, obviously Neil has passed on, but with also having an additional keyboard player, is that? I mean, because I personally wouldn't care, but I know that some people are kind of, oh God,
Oh, I know.
it's not 3 people,
Yeah.
and
Craig, at this
doesn't
point,
matter.
I'll be honest, I think they should. I've been saying it for years. They should go all in. Get another guitar player. Get a fucking female vocalist. Get a keyboard player. Go make it sound as good as possible, because it's not Rush anymore. Because it's not the 3, your 3 main guys. So fuck it. You're going out with it with somebody else. Get extra people. Make it sound as
Getty
good as
can't sing the
possible.
old stuff like he used to anyway.
100%, Pete.
Right?
If you go back and
Getty's lost it.
you go back and look at footage from the 2015 tour, which was their last tour. I mean, it was a great show. It was a great set, but yeah, Getty struggled a lot doing those high notes.
and that
So,
was
yeah,
what, 10 years, and that's what, 10 years ago?
10 years ago. Now he
Wow.
hasn't been singing for 10 years. So could it be that his vocals maybe
Register
haven't
his
deteriorated as
Yeah.
as fast as if he would have been touring the last 10 years? I don't know. But yeah, for
Yeah.
me, Craig, I'm not bothered. I say get them all. Better to have actual live musicians as part of the band playing actual live music than to do what so many other acts do nowadays, which is a whole nother topic, Pete, of playing a fucking tape.
Yeah.
I mean, the Who have been doing it for a million years. The Who bring out all sorts of people to help them
Yeah.
out. That's like,
Mhm.
nobody
Guns
really
N'
bothered
Roses
by
have
that,
like
right?
seven, 8 guys in the band now or whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody's singing for Axel though. They really need someone to
They
sing for
do.
Axel.
I mean, Christ, look at King Diamond. For years, he's had a female backup vocalist
That's right.
for fucking years on the side of the stage, and they don't hide her. So yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the thing with Rush for me is that why didn't they just come out and call it, Alex and Getty or something like that and friends?
You know
I
the
know
fucking
Rush
money.
is because yes, exactly.
That's what
That's why it's
sells.
$1,000.
Right. Rush is the name Rush is a brand like Coca-Cola or McDonald's.
It's
Just
crazy.
like why are there no Abbott brothers in Pantera, but yet they're called Pantera and not Cowboys from Hell?
Right.
Because Pantera is going to sell more
That's
tickets.
the brand.
Pantera is going to sell more T-shirts.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, well, why don't they just come out as Alex and Getty play Rush? And that's the name of the tour, right?
Yeah, I mean something like that.
Again,
But again,
Personally,
it's
I don't
not
care.
gonna.
I don't
yeah.
really care. I don't get hung up on names and all this kind of stuff. It's like, well, they shouldn't call themselves that, without Neil. It's like, all right, whatever. It's like,
I'm more perturbed about the pricing. Otherwise,
Yeah, I mean, that's
Agreed.
I would
Agreed.
definitely go. I mean, I might. Who knows? If maybe I'll do like what Steve
Well,
does. Maybe
that's my plan.
day
Rob.
of, I'll
Wait
look
till the
and see the
last
prices,
minute
and I
because
I get a seat. I'll go by myself.
we all should communicate like the week of the
100%.
Be like, all right, who's doing this, right? And we all get single tickets and we head down there and just,
Pete, I'll be honest. And it's funny because just by coincidence, today, December 1st, is the 2-year anniversary. Can't believe it's already 2 years of the final 2 Kiss shows at Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
And they did 2 nights at the Garden, December 1st and December 2nd. And they announced the gigs and they were on sale for like 6 months. And I was like, I hadn't seen Kiss on the farewell tour, this farewell tour at all. And I'm like, fuck it. You know what? I'm going to wait. And the first night, which was the original final night, sold out right away. Then they added the night before, which was December 1st. Long story short, I watched it for fucking months. The day of the show, I got a ticket in like section 106, which is in the lower bowl. They were good seats. I think I paid like $140. 6 months earlier, they were over 1,000.
Yep.
But the only reason I could do that is because we're close enough to Madison Square Garden where I literally
you probably bought that ticket and hopped on the train, right?
That's it. It was like, holy shit, I bought the ticket. I made a couple phone calls and texts. Nobody was free. I'm like, fuck it. Grabbed myself a ticket, clocked out of work, took the train, made it right before the opening band.
Was that the show where you were had like obstructed view and you had to like walk around the whole stadium?
No, that was the last Iron Maiden tour. Those fuckers. So hopefully that won't happen again this time. But yeah, the Kiss was the last minute, but it totally worked. So again, it's totally possible to and I figure, well, now for Rush in 2026, we got 4 chances. And I would think our chances would be better as the nights go on. But again, it's a crapshoot. It could get worse. It could be tons of other people doing the same thing because Rush at the Garden, it looks like all the shows are sold out. But now there's plenty of resellers,
yes,
who will either have to eat the ticket or drop the price. Right. Whereas, say, I was telling this to Craig, Rush, I was surprised, did not 1 but 2 nights at Mohegan Sun and up in Connecticut. The first night sold really well. Second night, there's tons of tickets, but they're
Really?
like $600 a pop.
Mm.
That's cheaper than the Garden, but I got to drive 2.5 hours and get a hotel room. So what am I really saving if I go up there and spend
Nothing. You're spending the same
six?
amount.
Spend almost
Exactly.
$1,000 again, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'll wait and I'll see what happens at the Garden.
Mm.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait. That's what, July? I think the garden
Yes, we
show's
got.
in
I mean, we
July.
got plenty of time.
Plenty of time. So yeah,
7, 8 months almost. Because
yeah,
it's what, the end of July and the first date or two in August.
something like that. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So for everybody watching, let us know what you think of these three tours. Are you going to any of these, or are you kind of like, no way, it's too expensive, no way, you don't like the big shows, or yes, you got to catch them at all costs because we may not have these guys around for all too much longer. So I know there's a lot of opinions on these particular big shows, these big tours, but let us know down in the comment section what you think. And we'll see you all back here on the Hudson Valley Squares real soon because we're going to do our end of year wrap up show right around the corner. We don't have a date for you yet, but we're working on that. And we're going to talk about some of our favorite releases of the year, favorite shows we've seen this year, that whole 9 yards. So stay tuned for that. And visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn
All the damn
time.
time.
Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. For Chris Allo, Rob Lasante, Craig Kaminsky, Tony Dio, and Steve Keeler, I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching this, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.